Hello and welcome to Inderes TV. NYAB just published its Q1 earnings result today, and here with me today I have the CEO Johan Larsson. Welcome.
Thank you.
All right, let's start with the Q1 earnings result, which was released earlier today. What are the key takeaways from the quarter?
Yeah, well, general improvements. Naturally, due to our season pattern, Q1 is low season, but best EBIT ever, best EBIT margin ever. Worth mentioning is that underlying EBIT was approximately 2.3%. And of course, strong order intake, building a good order backlog, and we have positioned ourselves very good for the rest of the year.
And I thought we could follow up on the integration of Dovre's businesses, and could you say anything on how it has progressed since we last spoke here?
I'm very happy that they delivered in line with expected in Q1, since there have been a lot of effort and time put into the integration naturally. For us, it's quite a big investment, platform investment. So we have found a lot of synergies and such. We have few consultants on Swedish soil, which they hadn't had before. So the progress is there, and we are working on it, and it looks as promising as can be, really, at this stage.
Good. And I thought we could talk about the current macroeconomic landscape, which is increasingly uncertain given all the talks about tariffs, geopolitical uncertainty, and the impact it could have on the wider economy. How would you say that NYAB is positioned to navigate this changing landscape?
Well, first of all, we address domestic markets, and our main markets are Norway, Sweden, Finland. We have steady, stable clients, heavy base industry, Swedish verks and such. So we are in as good as of a position as can be, but then again, I mean, if this goes far enough and the dollar weakens, and it will have effect on shipping costs or cargo costs and everything, everybody will be affected. But we will stand quite strong anyhow.
Yeah, and if we just assume that this gets more prolonged than expected, or even get worse, do you see any immediate risk to the supply chains? Yours?
There could be some risks there, but the main thing for us is that our clients won't be really affected in a way that they will stop their investments. Like the structural trends with the deglobalization and green transition and so on will continue, and that means that the markets are good for us. It's very hard to say, and it's an uncertainty when it comes to the supply chains. But what we can say that at this stage and at this level, we are hardly affected whatsoever. But if it worsens, there will be some effects naturally.
Yeah, all right. And in the last quarterly report, you mentioned that you have seen improved activity in Finland, and during Q1 we saw that the country unit returned to growth after a rather tough 2024. How do you assess the current demand outlook in Finland?
We expect it to grow, but then again, the growth on Finnish market aren't as good as NYAB's growth on the market. We have actually performed quite well and have earned the trust of some important clients there and such. But overall, we expect it to improve for the remainder of the year. It's still at quite a low level, but the indications are good, and it's a turnaround ongoing, but in an early stage.
And if you could talk about Sweden and the Norwegian market, how is?
They are actually excellent. Bigger pipeline than ever. We carefully choose the right type of projects and contracts and clients and such. So, of course, with 80% growth in the quarter and with a order intake at the level that we have, it's I can't say anything else that we will have a very good and nice growth both this year and as everything looks coming years as well.
And the civil engineering segment showed very high growth during the quarter. But if you look at the consulting segment, the growth was more or less flat if you look at on a pro forma basis there.
Yeah.
And during 2024, we saw some revenue decline in this segment. Could you just talk about the background behind this development that we've seen in the consulting segment, and also when you expect the segment to return back to growth? What measures are needed to be implemented there?
Yeah, first of all, the historical figures when this Dovre consultancy business had other owners than NYAB mainly stems from changes in legislation, in Norwegian legislation, works legislation. And I would say that if it was our wish at current margin to increase volume in the consultancy business, that wouldn't be a problem. The thing at the moment is that we are improving margins, ongoing work with that, and the focus is there. So we expect to have roughly the same volume for this year as the previous year, but with a clearly improved margin. And once we have reached that, we will look more into scalability and such. So my best guess at the moment is that we will see growth there already 2026.
And how will you improve the margins for the consulting segment?
Various methods, but we have synergies with the ongoing NYAB business. We have client relations. We have already some Norwegian consultants on Swedish soil. We can expand our energy expertise. There is a high demand for the knowledge and expertise that we have with our Norwegian engineers. So it's the demand is there.
All right. And I thought we could talk about defense investments, which have, for I guess the wrong reasons, been at the top of many countries' agenda lately. And it seems also increasingly likely that NATO members will need to increase their spending on defense from the current threshold of 2% of GDP to 3% or even 3.5% of GDP going forward. How is NYAB positioned to benefit from these increasing investments in defense?
Yeah, I would say that first of all, the defense and Fortifikationsverket are clients of us. Annually, we have volumes of up to 100 million SEK, and that is from very low levels when they haven't done very much investments. But if you look at doing like skalskydd, widening landing strips, fencing, new energy, improving infrastructure, deeper harbors, stronger bridges and such. It's what we do. And of course, since I just told you that they already are our client, you understand that we have our security proven and so on and are allowed to do work for them. And it's always an edge to be a domestic company, so to speak. And worth mentioning is that the defense in Norway is also a client with an already ongoing agreement. So we are as well positioned as can be, I would say.
And lastly, what do you think investors should watch in the upcoming quarters when it comes to NYAB?
Well, that depends on if you understand our more or less unique business model, at least unique for this industry, and you see 5 consecutive quarters if you take away one-offs with profitable growth and high margins. I would look at how much contracts we win, really. I mean, we do our very best to grow in a long-term sustainable pace, to build a stronger and better company continuously, and key for us is the right projects and contracts. So I would look out for new orders, really, but that's me.
And with that, Johan, thank you so much for joining me today.
Thank you.
Thank you for watching.